Several ongoing debates in world Englishes include the selection of a variety to be used as the target for L2 learning, influence of learners' first language on their use of English, and the range and depth of use of English in different socio-cultural contexts. A concept closely linked with these issues is the concept of interlanguage, as it also refers to the degree of proficiency that a learner has attained in his or her second language. Interlanguage refers to the intermediate state of a learner's language as the language moves from L1 to L2. So interlanguage can be defined as a learner's journey from L1 to L2. Probably this small diagram can explain the concept better to you. So a learner undertakes this journey from L1 to L2, and the dotted lines are the interlanguage, or let's say interlanguage at any given time is the point that a learner has received in terms of his or her, a learner has reached in terms of his or her learning. So interlanguage can be described as a halfway house between the first language and the second language. So it is this in-between state between the first language and the target language. We must understand that language learning is a very gradual process, in fact. So one cannot claim to have attained competency in different elements of a language immediately after starting learning. So one cannot claim after, let's say, 2 weeks that one has acquired complete competence in certain elements of the language and remaining are left, so on and so forth. So what actually happens is that one gradually learns these different features of a language, and then they do not reach a very high level of competence. But reaching a high level of competence takes time, and a person keeps improving. So when a person starts using a language or learning a language, for example, in the beginning they may make mistakes in the use of grammar, but they will improve on those mistakes, and gradually, one by one, these mistakes will be eliminated. So some mistakes will be eliminated at one point, some mistakes will be eliminated after some more time, etc. And all this elimination of mistakes and a learner's movement from L1 to L2 is called interlanguage. Similarly, interlanguage reflects a learner's evolving system. So interlanguage is not something which is fixed or permanent, but it is evolving gradually. As a person keeps learning a language, this system keeps evolving, which means a person keeps improving in his or her use of the second language. Interlanguage is influenced both by a learner's first language and also by the input the learner receives in the second language. So we may see features of both a learner's L1 and a learner's L2 in his or her interlanguage. The monolingual orthodox concept of SLA says that the native language, the standard native language, is the ideal. It is the target for any L2 learner. If we strongly believe in this view of SLA, then a learner's interlanguage will be completely rejected, and we will start acknowledging a learner only when he has reached his or her goal, that is, the native-like proficiency in L2. Whereas in the context of world Englishes, it is the idea of interlanguage is supported, and it is believed that when a learner starts learning a language, they will not become competent very soon, and this competence will develop gradually. So interlanguages should be acknowledged and should be taken as a sign of a learner's progress, as a sign of the developing L2 of a learner. So interlanguage is not considered a sign of a good language learning as far as SLA is concerned, but it is considered a sign of learners learning a language, the evolving system of a learner's L2 in the context of world Englishes.